Welcome to Public Health Impact. I'm Cham Dallas.
And I'm Phaedra Corso. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about injuries, all different kinds of injuries, both those that are intentional and those that are unintentional.
You know, Phaedra, the two specific categories we'll cover today are injury prevention of traffic fatalities and accidents, and also those resulting from school bullying.
Oh, I think bullying is a great topic to cover, Cham, because it's been in the news so much lately. And did you know that 1 out of every 2 sixth graders is a victim of bullying? And not only that, but in every age category, girls tend to be victims a lot more than boys do.
And that leads to depression and violence and suicide. On the traffic fatality side and injury side, we have had a lot of success, due to seat belts and the airbags. But recently, fatalities, injuries, they're going back up again due to road rage and cell phone use.
And in Georgia, we should be particularly interested in traffic fatalities and injuries because we just had a law passed that says no texting while you drive.
That's right, so stick with us for this episode on injury prevention in public health. Violence of any kind can end up in injury. And that's why we're covering the topic of school bullying in terms of injury prevention. And to cover this, we're going to have our own subject matter expert, Dr. Pamela Orpinas, who's on the faculty here in the Department of Health Promotion and Behavior here at the College of Public Health. Well, Pam, what is bullying?
Bullying refers to aggressive acts that are intentionally meant to hurt others and that are done repeatedly and over time.
Well, what kind of behaviors, what specific behaviors do we define as bullying?
Bullying refers to a wide range of behaviors from physical, hitting, pushing, scratching someone, verbal, insulting, name-calling, also relational, gossiping, saying things to hurt others, leaving others out of a group on purpose.
Well, I've heard of cyberbullying is the new rage in bullying over the internet, having vivid effects on people, even suicide and extreme depression induced over the internet.
And that's very serious and it's starting to be studied recently. Kids can bully others by posting pictures, making nasty comments, sending thousands of phone calls or emails to someone.
Well, how frequently does this happen? What's the incidence of this now?
It's very high, particularly in middle school. 1 of every 2 kids have reported being a victim of bullying in middle school. It's lower in elementary school and then decreases in high school.
Well, that's really high. I didn't realize it was that high. 1 out of 2 in middle school. Are there different types of victims, different types of bullies?
Most victims are victims because someone chose them for the reasons are irrelevant, too tall, too short, too fat, too skinny. Victims need to know that the reasons for being victims of bullying are basically irrelevant, and that is a very important point. Now, there are other victims also. There are some who are the kids who might be inducing the bullying. They might be teasing the bullies and then they get victimized. And that's what we call the bully victims. And that's a very difficult position because they get the problems of the bullies and the problems of the victims.
So they're likely to be victims of aggression themselves, these bully victims.
Exactly.
Well, what are the warning signs of bullying in the schools? What should parents be looking for?
Parents should look for anything that is different that's happening to the child. First, of course, they do need to have an open communication with the kid. But if the kid comes home with a bruise that is unexplained, or comes home running to the bathroom every day because he's afraid to go to the bathroom at school, or is so hungry because someone stole his or her lunch money. Those are the things that parents really need to think about. What if the child doesn't want to go to school over and over because he's afraid of what's going to be happening there?
Well, I really identify with that myself, Pam. I can remember being bullied in the bathroom at school. That's, I guess, one of the only things I remember from 8th grade is the fact that I was in several fist fights that I had to actually fight my way out of a bathroom. What a memory.
Yes, and what you're saying is very, very important. The consequences of bullying can last a lifetime. And that's why we really need to stop it and need to stop it soon. Children should be able to go to school for studying and for having friends, not to be bullied.
Okay, Pam, what can parents do about this? How can they help their children deal with this?
If parents know that the child has been a victim of bullying, they have to talk with the child and explain to the child that bullying is wrong and it's not their fault. Also, don't promise that you will keep this a secret. Bullying thrives in silence, and parents will have to talk with the counselors and with the school principal about this issue. It's really important for parents to understand whether the bullying is annoying or is dangerous. If it's dangerous, they need to act right away. Call the principal, call the police, do something right away. But if the bullying is annoying, someone who is just making comments, but it's not something that's threatening the life of the child, talk with the child about documenting what's happening. So when you go and talk with the principal, say, on Monday at 9 o'clock, this kid said this, and these are the kids who were present, and this is what happened. On Tuesday, this is what happened. So you have a record of the situation. Take pictures of a bruise or a book that is torn. Try also some easy measures first, and sometimes those work. And about half of the bullying cases, if the kid says, you know, it really bothers me that you said that, and I want you to stop. Don't say it again. Half of the time, the other kid is going to stop. So that's great, half of the time. Now we have the other half of the time that it's not going to stop, and then we need to do something about it. But then talk with the principal and make a plan to solve the problem.
Okay, well, what can schools do to prevent bullying? What should we do?
Schools can do a number of things. First, schools need to focus on the bullies rather than focusing on the victims. We have to stop the bullying from happening rather than teaching the victims how to get their way out of it. Second, we need to have a zero tolerance policy for bullying. And when I mean zero tolerance, I'm not talking about expulsion or suspending all the kids who are the bullies. Most teachers have a zero tolerance policy for not having their homework. So that means having real, clear consequences, and that those consequences are enforced every time. Schools should establish also a bullying prevention team, a group of teachers, counselors, administrators that are going to examine each one of the claims and solve it.
Okay, well, if parents and educators want to read more about bullying, this is a great resource that Dr. Ordopinas has written, along with a co-author, Bullying Prevention, Creating a Positive School Climate and Developing Social Confidence. I encourage you to get this and to be proactive in stopping this high prevalence of school bullying.